There are some homes in Anchorage that you should think twice about buying. I'm not saying you can't buy them, but you must fully understand what you're getting into. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 types of homes that often look great on paper, but in reality, they can turn into some of the most expensive mistakes a buyer can make in Alaska. And make sure you stick with me until the end, because I'm sharing a bonus tip that almost no one considers when buying here, but it can save you and your family from years of frustration. Hi, my name is Christy Hutchison. I'm part of a local real estate team here in Anchorage, Alaska. We help people from all over the country move to Anchorage, taking the guesswork out of everything from finding the right neighborhood to navigating the home buying process so your move feels smooth, informed, and stress-free. So don't hesitate to reach out. If you plan to relocate in 3, 6, or even 12 months, our contact info is listed below. We'd love to help you make Anchorage home. Let's get to the video. Number 1, homes with weak foundations in earthquake zones. Anchorage is famous for its stunning mountain backdrop and coastal views, but what's underneath the ground is just as important. Much of the city is built on a glacial silt, a soil type that turns unstable during earthquakes. This matters because Anchorage will have more quakes and earthquakes in the future. It's not a question of if, but when. Homes with weak and outdated foundations can crack, shift, and eventually partially collapse during seismic events. And repairing a foundation in Alaska isn't just expensive, it's complicated by frozen ground and short building seasons. That means a home that looks solid today may become a money pit tomorrow. How to avoid the risk? Always request a structural inspection by an inspector that has seismic expertise. Ask if the home has been retrofitted to post-1980s building codes. Review the city's hazard maps, and don't be afraid to walk away from a home with visible cracks or sloping floors. It's cheaper to find the right house than to gamble on seismic repairs. Number 2, homes with aging roofs that can't handle snow loads. Anchorage winters are famously intense, but as of early 2025, there's a twist worth knowing. The city has seen record low snow accumulations this winter, but let's not jump to conclusions. Last winter was the opposite, and it was extreme. In late January of 2024, Anchorage reached over 100 inches of snow, the earliest in the season in record history to hit that amount of snow. That snow put 30 to 35 pounds per square foot on roofs. City engineers compared it to parking 8 pickup trucks on a 1,500 square foot roof. That's a lot. In a heavy snow year, inadequate roof design or maintenance can lead to sagging, leaks, or even collapse. In light snow years, underlying issues like poor insulation and ventilation can be masked, but remain just as dangerous. Snow in Alaska's freeze frame reminder, you need a roof built for the worst while hoping for the best. How to avoid the risk? Always ask the seller about the age of the roof and whether it was built according to modern snow load codes. Look for evidence of ice damming, like warped gutters or interior ceiling stains. Hire an inspector to check attic ventilation. Poor airflow traps moisture and leads to rot. If you buy a home with an older roof, budget for replacement sooner rather than later. Number 3, homes with poor insulation and outdated heating systems. So living in Anchorage means dealing with some of the country's longest, darkest winters. The snowy season lasts over 6 months, typically from October through April, and the rainy season can stretch into September. Without modern insulation, triple pane windows, and high-efficiency furnaces, you will bleed heat and money. That translates into sky-high utility bills, sometimes $500 to $700 a month in the winter for poorly insulated homes. Drafty windows and thin attic insulation and old boilers don't just make life uncomfortable, they reduce resale appeal because savvy buyers ask about utility history before making an offer. How to avoid the risk? Always request at least 2 years of heating bills from the seller. During an inspection, have the attic and crawl space spec'd for insulation R values and confirmed whether windows are triple paned or if the furnace or boiler is Energy Star rated. If there's upgrades needed, factor them into your negotiations because energy efficiency is not optional. It is a necessity in Anchorage. Number 4, homes with water intrusion or mold problems. So Anchorage's beauty comes with a cost. Snow melts really fast in the spring, and without proper drainage, that water must go somewhere. Often it pulls around the foundation, seeps into crawl space, or floods basements. Once water gets inside, it creates the perfect environment for mold growth. Mold isn't just unsightly. It can cause respiratory issues worse than asthma and create long-term health problems. In Anchorage, mold remediation isn't cheap. Homeowners report average cleanup costs range from $2,200 to $2,800, with more expensive jobs reaching $7,500 or higher, depending on the scope. How to avoid the risk? Walk around the yard, see how water would flow during a thaw. Does it slope away from the house or towards it? Ask about sump pumps, French drains, and whether gutters are heated. And don't just trust the home inspector, get a mold inspector who specializes in mold. Number 5, older homes with hazard material. Anchorage grew quickly in the mid-20th century, and many homes built before the 1980s still contain asbestos, insulation, and lead-based paint and outdated wiring. These are serious issues. When disturbed, asbestos can create serious lung issues, while lead-based paint is a known health risk, especially for children. Older wiring systems like knob and tube also increase fire risk and may prevent you from getting affordable homeowners insurance. Fixing these issues requires certified contractors, and Alaska's stricter disposal regulations mean costs are often higher here than anywhere else. For example, asbestos removal in Anchorage typically costs around $1,400 to $2,200. How to avoid the risk? When considering an older home, ask whether environmental testing has been done, and if not, make your offer contingent on testing. Budget for abatement or be ready to walk if the costs push the home beyond comfort zone. Are you thinking about relocating to Anchorage, Alaska? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research. I've linked it below. From top employers to the best hospitals and a boatload of other things you need to know before moving. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. I hope that helps. Bonus tip: multi-level homes with steep driveways and stair-heavy layouts may look great in the summer, but they can be daily hazards in the winter. Falls on ice are one of the top causes of ER visits in Alaska, and slippery steps are a big reason. How to avoid the risk? If you plan to age in a place or have your young children or older relatives with you, consider whether a single-story home or a flatter driveway can make life safer. A beautiful mountain view is less enjoyable if you can't safely climb stairs in February. So to recap, Anchorage homebuyers need to be cautious about 5 major risks: foundation issues and earthquake-prone soil, roof weakness under snow level, poor insulation, outdated heating, water intrusion, and mold. And older homes with asbestos also are a problem. And don't forget the bonus: multi-level homes can be a safety issue in icy winters. I hope this helps. The good news is that this risk can be managed if you know what to look for. Get the proper inspections and ask for documentation. Don't cut corners on due diligence. If this gave you clarity on what to avoid, hit like, subscribe, and share with anyone you know who's thinking about buying in Alaska. And before you go, watch my next video, Is It Dangerous to Live in Alaska?, where I break down the real risks and reality of life here beyond just housing. You don't want to miss it.